Story of the day, and that is clearly the SEBI clean chit to the Adani Group in the Hindenburg case against some of their allegations and the rally that has followed the decisions. We are now being joined by Deven Choksey, the MD at DRChoksey Finserv, to take this conversation forward. Deven, good morning. Thank you for joining in. With this, is it fair to say that matter has now been put to rest and that major overhang that laid over the entire group has now come to an end?
Yes, good morning. And a good breather too, frankly. I think the Indian regulator has already cleared the matter. Maybe I think in some other places, if this matter is still pending, they will take a cue from what Indian regulators have given them as clean sheet. In my viewpoint, I think it's important to establish the integrity into the market. And that's what the regulator has done. A false allegation followed by, I think, a severe attack on the stock price and resulting into, I think, wealth erosion for investor is something which is not a healthy sign of a good market. And I think if this is initiating the entire integrity of the market, then in such situation, I think it's such an onus is on the regulator to act fast and I think give the verdict, which is what I think they have given in a reasonably good time. So all congratulations to the regulator as well in this process. And with an expectation that such kind of events, when an unregulated entity operating from other parts of the world, where Indian regulations do not have the teeth to go and nab. So such kind of entities, I think if they manipulate the market, I think the regulation should be made stronger so that repeat of such situation shouldn't happen. That's an expectation along with.
Okay, we take that point, Deven. So out of the group, anything that you like in terms of listed names?
Yeah, absolutely, Sonal. The companies which are looking good within the group, certainly I think Adani Enterprise, which is incubating a lot of new businesses, and they are due for monetization over next 3 to 5 years from now. So obviously, I think the business like roads, the business like airports, the data center, even mining, which is a cash cow for Adani Enterprise. And along with that, I think the new energy business which they are building in. In my viewpoint, I think each of these businesses are assuming significantly large amount of addressable market, and that's where they have the leadership. So we like the group more because I think they keep on building the infrastructure for each and every businesses, and in turn, this infrastructure generates significantly large amount of cash flow. Today, they have about 90,000 crore EBITDA on a trailing 12 basis, which is growing at a speed of around 15 to 20% on a CAGR basis. So, which is giving a good amount of visibility for growth going forward. And as long as I think they manage this entire growth without expanding the debt side of the balance sheet as much, today I think they're better off with 2.25 lakh crore kind of a debt on a 50,000 crore cash in the balance sheet and on a 90,000 crore EBITDA. So they're better off today. If that discipline continues, certainly I think some of these businesses are going to see a significant amount of value appreciation for investors in my viewpoint.
Deven, just hang on. The flash on a screen on the Keynes Technologies, Rajesh Sharma has resigned as the CEO of the company. The stock has come off the highs of the day. That's the announcement that the company has just put out on the exchanges in a few minutes earlier. So that is one announcement from Keynes Technologies. Deven, you mentioned about Adani Enterprises. Other than that, we already had some analysts also starting to warm up to some of the other group companies. We have had an initiation on Adani Power today. We have had a positive note coming in on Adani Green Energy as well. Is that the area you would want to look at, especially considering the government focus on green energy as well going forward, other than, of course, the main incubating business?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I think each of these businesses are generating significantly large amount of cash, and that's a good point. If you look at port, I think a similar situation, expanded capacity of more than 500 million metric tons of cargo handling and covering the eastern western coast at the same time, along with some of the international ports for cargo handling. The power and power utility businesses both are looking brilliant. I think the generation of power from the conventional sources as well as from the renewable sources. And the companies like Green definitely remains in a formidable situation where they are actually operating the larger amount of capacity and will be operating larger amount of capacity. even Adani Transmission or Energy Transmission, whatever you call it as, that company is significantly generating large amount of EBITDA as well. So yes, I think each of these businesses are really in a good shape, and we believe that I think the opportunity would still continue to be bigger going forward as well. So yeah, no denial on the aspect of I think selecting these companies in the portfolio.
Okay, we take that point, Deven. By the way, Keynes Technology has seen a sharp fall from the highs of the day. It is down 1.2% as we speak. The stock chart should come up for you on the screen. It has been an outperformer in industrial products company and has been doing well in terms of performance as well. With respect to the CEO, Mr. Rajesh Sharma, he has a background in accounting and finance for over 15 years, and he has previously held positions at companies like Siemens. There's Allegan Private Limited as well. And if we talk about Keynes Technology, the stock has done really well in last 6 months. It was around 4,500 rupees back in March, and now we are seeing levels of 7,200s already. So a big outperformance is what this particular stock has done. And look at that, 57% higher in last 6 months. And management change continues to be a big thing that the shareholders look out for as well. I remember when Naveen Florin, Mr. Radesh Welling resigned, the stock was down 20% that day itself. Today we have the CEO of Keynes Tech resigning, and the stock is down around 3% odd. So it is always the management, the CEO, which drives strategies for any company, which drives the future outlook for any company, and maybe this has come in as a disappointment, especially after the outperformance that the company and the stock price has seen as well.
Let's get a word in from Deven as well, if you can. Deven, you heard the announcement as well from Keynes. A CEO change, a sudden announcement like this, never a good sign. But considering the outperformance that the company has had, would you believe that this would just bring it back to some healthier valuations for people to enter into?
Let's wish for it. I guess I think whatever changes which are happening in the universe in respective companies, I think they should be seen as a healthy change. I don't think one should be negative about any change taking place. At the same time, be aware about few things, that if the companies are quoting at a reasonably premium valuations, I think they have very little chance to protect themselves from any negative news, and that's what some of these companies are getting victimized with. It's a signal to all the investors that when you give the premium valuation to businesses and the companies, be mindful of the situation that any negative news could possibly affect those valuations, in some cases very severely. No particular view on Keynes and the transaction which has happened, resignation transaction which has happened. I have no particular view at this point.
Yes, we take that point, Deven. Thank you so much for joining in with your views and thoughts on our big story and the stock as well. By the way, the resignation letter says that he's been with the company for 4 years, and of course, major milestones like listing were also covered in that journey. And in last 4 years, the revenues have grown from 421 crore rupees to as much as 2,700 crore rupees right now. Margins from 10% to 15%, and profits as well from around 10 crores to almost 300 crores. So yes, that's why it has come in as a disappointment, because he was a driver of that growth as well for the company. We'll discuss that in more detail, but we have to slip into a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss market technicals with Apur Sheth of Samco Securities and discuss the top trading bets.